Chuggalos, welcome back to episode 311 of the Brew Crew podcast. I'm your host, Matt. JT is out visiting some family in the motherland for him, the good state of Illinois. I've done something that I haven't done in a month. When I do a solo episode, I did a lot of prep today. I was trying to get all of the electronics and sound all, because I take all of this equipment back and forth between the church room bar and the man cave. I just got done working out, so I'm extremely thirsty, so I'm going to go ahead and crack the first one. I've got a lot to talk about, but the best part is both of these beers in my good thing I take my pile of koozies back. I got a koozie though. Both of the beers that I'm having today have created a dilemma for me because they're both sours. And Chuggalos, you're going to be like, Matt, why are you doing two sours? We've had this discussion before, so this is a sour dilemma. But both of these beers were from Fantasy Victories from Chuggalo Mikey. So both sours, I'm going to do it. I've given these two beers to JT, so if JT has the opportunity, he could do a short or whatever. The expectation is there, JT, to at least give me feedback on these beers. The first beer that I'm going to do is a new brewery. It is Barrel and Beam, and it's their Bucolic Brett, Rustic Table Beer Series. There's their logo for their brewery. Tart, Cherry, and Peach. And it's a sessionable at 4.3%. You're going to be like, Matt, what's a sessionable beer? And I actually looked that up for you guys because I care. Sessionable beer is between 3 and 5% ABV. I thought maybe, and you could drink it over a long period of time. That's what it said. So I'm just going to go with the crack because, again, I am parched and I didn't have any water afterwards. It's early on a Sunday morning. We're braving for the first real big winter blast of this 2024-2025 winter season. First impression, there's not a lot of body to this. I think the peach shines more through than the tart cherry. Wow. All right. That's not very satiating right now after, again, just riding 15 miles and trying to get that physique back to where it was, these old bones. All right, so the first thing I want to start with, there's a lot of things. One, I'm just going to start crossing stuff off. We did it. We got to 150 subs. That's awesome. I just checked to see JT was going to a brewery, and I thought, hey, maybe he'll do a short. We've talked about that just ever so briefly yesterday. We were texting back and forth about, hey, maybe if we go to a brewery, do like an actual just short, kind of like a Barstool Sports Dave Portnoy style. I thought that was neat. But let's go with my year in beer. I haven't watched this yet. I just upgraded to Untapped Premiere or whatever because I didn't see my year in beer. Usually Untapped prompts you with a opportunity to subscribe or look at your year in beer. I didn't see that, so I was like, you know what? I finally bit the bullet, and I was like, I'm going to subscribe to to Untapped. The one thing that I won't do though is on the podcast is I'm not going to score on the 0.1 system, which is a feature for Untapped that you're allowed to do. I'm going to do the 0.25 still, at least on the podcast. In my day-to-day life, I don't know. We'll see. But let's go ahead and check this out, and let's play now. 386 unique beers. I just want to see if you checked in. Great. 94 different styles. Missed opportunities. So just about a third. 19th most. Wow, smoothie style is only the 19th most popular style in Untapped. Interesting. Oh, look, it's got all these. Checked into 403 different places. Seems about right. I like that. There's a lot of different tabs. Big fan of Fridays. 104 on Fridays. Look at that Monday. Podcast beers. 58 venues. Very cool. There's no sound in the background, so top venues. Church Room Bar, King's Table, Barrel House. Look at that. That's up at the Cabin. Checked in beers from 193. 26, so more venues, more breweries than the previous year. Coming out of another year of COVID. Top breweries, 450 North, Central Waters, other half a good new staple. Goose Island with all of their beers. Dogfish Head, all right, yeah. Most loved. That's because that's my favorite beer. Sam Adams Utopias is probably going to be my beer of the year. Out of all of those. That 2009 was really good too. Different. Day Buzz from Bevy. Look at that. I did have a 0.5 this year. Interesting. I don't remember that beer so bad. I wonder what Seth's badge total is. Top badges. Pucker Up, yeah, for the sours, for the can. Photogenic. I'll take a lot of pictures. I like these stats, though. Your top local badges, King's Table. Cool Kids Club, I don't know what that is. Mike Miller, JT, OC. K-Stole. K-Stole's on there. Get to see her later this week. Good times. And then I could share my stats. Interesting. Well, awesome. Well worth going through that stuff. The other thing I found out is when you subscribe to Untappd, I now downloaded a Excel spreadsheet with every check-in that I've ever had, and it's got every piece of data they collect, the brewery, the rating, a bunch of different fields. I'd bring it up, but it's just an Excel spreadsheet. The one thing I organized it by date. There's some advent calendar beers that I didn't check in, so I'm going to have to go back after this, hopefully, after this and put in those advent calendar beers that I missed, because that's not fair to me, and that's not fair to the, sorry, Stacy, Barrel House, for their work that they put into that, because I want to check them in. All right. Hit number 5 or 6 on the beer list. We're in another year of the podcast. So we started this in 2018. Now it's 2025. Incredible. Like I said, episode 311. I would do music. I should have worn my 311 shirt. What a missed opportunity. I'm well too far into this, but I should have done my 311 t-shirt. I've worn it before on the podcast. So that's just awesome to do that. Better Matt next week. So be excited. Better Matt will be here. We're going to have to roll up our sleeves and put in the work next week, which I'm really excited for. He's been excited. He's excited to come back. Unlike Chuggalos Steph, who said he's never coming back. Oh, I just fuzzied up the camera. Let me turn it off. Turn it back on. So that's good. I already told you guys that these beers are because I won my fantasy showdown with Mikey. So let me explain that a little bit more. I'm all off kilter this week. We are in a pick'em league, or a survival league, excuse me. And you get to pick one team a week. And once you pick that team, so like let's say you pick the New England Patriots, even though no one did this year. Once you pick the New England Patriots, you can never pick them again. And you have to go through and pick the team that you are for sure that's gonna win that game. So I lost the first week, and there was 32 other people in this league, and Chuggalo Mikey happened to be one of them. So I lost my first week. I think I picked the Chiefs or the Bengals. I think it was the Bengals, and the Bengals lost the first week, and they've had an up and down season. And so then I went through the next 12 weeks, and I didn't lose. And it was just Chuggalo Mikey and I left at the end. All 31 other people were eliminated. So we decided to split the pot. So it was $10 a person. You do the math, 33 participants, $333. So we split the pot. But I was like, there ultimately has to be a winner. So it was still him and I. And he goes, all right, what's the terms? I go, a 6-pack of beer. Done. So these are how I won those beers. And then my main league, my main fantasy league, that JT's in, and also Chuggalo Mikey, I won that. I snuck into the playoffs, and then I did really well. And Josh Allen and Amon-Ra, the sun god, as Mikey calls him, I trust, won that championship. So boom, 2 out of 5 leagues I'm in, our Pick'em League is still going. I cashed out on, so that helps out, and it pays for the fantasy for the year. Okay, and like I said, beer of the year, it's going to be Sam Adams. I did a recording of that. That was my Christmas gift last year from Chuggalos Mikey. We ended up drinking it in April. That was an awesome experience. It was the number 1 beer on my list for many years. I couldn't get it. It's still sitting on my bar in the church room. So excited to have the opportunity to share that with people. Just a really, really, really thoughtful gift and everything. So thank you for that. All right. So let's get back to the beer. I'm about a third of the way done with it. And since it's the new year and we've got another bet going on for weight loss and everything, I've been drinking, and we've talked about this every year. We've done the advent calendar. January, Barrel House closes for 10 days. It's an opportunity to pull back from the holidays, and give your liver and kidneys a little bit of a rest, and that's what I've decided to do. So this probably is my one of my only couple drinks for the week, and let's talk about Barrel and Beam. So we're gonna go back to Firefox. We're gonna bring up Barrel and Beam. So I fell in love with this place. So anyways, barrelandbeam.com, and it's in Marquette, Michigan. If you don't know where Marquette, Michigan is, so here's Wisconsin, Eau Claire. JT taught us a lot about Eau Claire. It's God's land. So Marquette, Michigan is up in the UPA, and it's up on Lake Superior, the shores of Lake Superior. So there we go. There's Marquette. And Barrel and Beam. So you can find out more at barrelandbeam.com. I always like going to the About, and what do you know? The first thing that I saw that jumps out on this page is Supper Club. It used to be a supper club. I mean, you look at that, and I'm a big fan of supper clubs. Craft beer and supper clubs would probably be in my top 10 favorite things that I like to do. And this restaurant, it opened in the 30s, and then it closed in 2007. But look at that log cabin style. And then 2016, first time. So congrats on 9 years since it's 2015. They had to redo a lot of it, majestic fireplace, 22 minerals, but the logs. And anyways, so they started in 2016, handcrafted farmhouse and barrel-aged ales, ciders, and meads. That's awesome. And so that's the only thing I looked at. Let's go look at the team. Let's give them an out shout. Nick Vancourt, co-founder, head brewer. Hillary, bartender, co-founder. Special projects. Look at that. Kitchen, sales managers, taproom manager. Hell yeah. Man, if I'm ever up on Marquette, I would like to go to this place. All right. Back to the beer. So like I said, it's a sessionable at 4.3%. This is a very thin beer, and thin on taste. It has that sour note, but nothing accompanies it. The cherry is subtle, maybe more of the peach. I'm glad I did this one first because it's not wrecking my palate, but it's very traditional in the sense that it's got that Brettanomyces on the palate, but it vacates soon after. It's not gimmicked up like we look at with like the smoothie sours. And we've talked about that a lot during the month, where sour now is a rather large family, and you have or a declaration, if you will, because you have other subcategories, the smoothie styles and the pastries, and the lambics and all of that. And I understand, there's gonna be those are all their separate categories, but in the sour family, I'll put them all in the sour family. This beer doesn't really offer much, but looking at the website, the fact that it's built in an old supper club, And that's going to be something that I'm interested in. But this beer doesn't do too much for me. Off the top rope, I'm going to give this a 3.5. I wish there was more characteristics, more signature, something to church it up a little bit. It seems fine, and I keep trying to remind myself that it's a sessionable beer, so it doesn't have a lot of runway for the ABV to play with, but there's a lot of fine beers in that 4 series that are gimmicked up or whatever, but with this, it's an appreciated beer. Obviously, it came from Chuggalo Mikey, and I didn't have to pay anything for it. But 2, yeah, and I'm just floral characteristics, French aging in French oak. Yeah, classic Michigan fruits. I'm still comfortable with the 3.5. All right, beer number 2. They're gonna pick it up, right? It's gonna go up from here. This is Prairie Artisan Ales, Tiny Esses, and the only thing I know about this is it's a sour ale with fruit candy. What kind of fruit candy? Didn't look anything up about this yet. And we've done Prairie Artisan Ales multiple times on this podcast. This is a 5.5% sour ale, so a little bit up on the ABV. So we're going to go with the crack. And I'm cracking towards the keyboard, but I didn't shake these up. There's not a lot of excitement in these, or a lot of carbonation, so I'm not worried about exploding all over keyboards. That's the ticket. 1, sour. Oh, yeah. That candy. Is it Sweet Tarts? I'm glad I did it in the order. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm glad I did it in the order, because if I did that first, the Tiny Esses, I think it would have completely destroyed my palate, and I would have been a lot more reflectively positive about the Bucolic Brett from Barrel and Beam. This beer is fantastic. Oh, yeah. JT also has that's going to be right in JT's wheelhouse. I think it's Sweet Tarts. Or like a candy necklace. It's all the compact candy necklaces. Yeah. That's a savory beer. Like savory in the fact that, man, that sugar and sweetness, the calorie count on that one's going to be absolutely devastating, I'm guessing. And the only thing I wrote on that one is candy flavor. Oh yeah, this is we're starting it out strong with one, a conversation starter, one with a amazing backdrop, that Old Supper Club, and then 2 with that this beer, because it's just powerhouse of flavor. All right, let's go check out Prairie Artisan Ales. We've been to this website multiple times, prairieales.com. They have pickleball. I don't remember them having pickleball. Welcome to our website. I hope you're having a nice day. We are Prairie, Stacey, Artisan Ales, and we like to make cool beer. Sorry, Stacey. Our story, we've been brewing in beer in Oklahoma since before it was a state, and they were the 48th state, because they used to be aptly or inaptly called the Indian Territory, which a legitimate 95, again, an OG 2012. Look at that, fun loving Prairie Bombs, the Bomb series. Like to make cool beer. Awesome. I thought, man, I really flew through stuff. I thought I had a lot to talk about. I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm wondering how devastating the snow is going to be. It's forecasted to be 5 to 9 inches. So I'm hoping everyone stays warm, has their victuals and everything if they need to hunker down. In Wisconsin, in northern Wisconsin, 5 to 9 inches, you would just call that a random Tuesday or Wednesday, and everything would be fine. But it's pretty catastrophic, not catastrophic, devastating for Ohio, just because the duration or the opportunities for these snowfalls. I don't think last year. I think I shoveled twice. So make sure you're stocked up on your beer, and I'm going to drop this ahead of time. This will be your prompt. You can't get any more pickup times at your Kroger, so you'd either have to go shopping or have it delivered before the before the looming storm. But man, I think of things and I get on a diatribe, and I should have wrote them all down. This beer is absolutely phenomenal. I wish it's been sitting here for a little bit when I was doing prep and doing the research. I wish I had it a little bit cooler. I don't think it's probably in the 40s right now. I wish I think maybe the warmth is opening up the candy. This is not crushable because that candy is going to be lifting the palate up a little bit and asking you to satiate it with something besides that sour. The balance on this beer and how it's delivered, you can tell it's expertly crafted and something that they've honed over a bit of time, and especially at a 5.5%. I'm going to be far more welcoming to this beer than the Bucolic Brett, just because it delivers what it doesn't say what candy it is. It just says candy. It's either a sweet tart or a candy necklace, that compact sugar, candy sugared, with the different colors. Everyone says different flavors. This is quite good. This is a near perfect beer. Wish I had it a little bit cooler. I still have 2 more cans that'll sit on for a little bit because I'm making good decisions. I will say, New Year's resolutions. I've heard a litany of things as I've been on vacation, and I'm dreading going back to work tomorrow. Will be my first day since the 17th, and the 17th was kind of an asterisk because I only worked for a couple of hours. Is watching a lot of streamers and everything talk about whether or not you choose to make New Year's resolutions. The one thing that I heard and that I wish for all the Chuggalos is, I just hope that you're a better person at the end of the year. Then you have an opportunity for growth, and if you do choose to do a resolution or resolutions, that you're able to achieve those. One of my podcasts or beer related, I want to improve the gimmicks. Reach out. Some of that's reaching out. Some of that's incorporating Better Matt. He's got a lot to say, a lot of knowledge in the beer industry, and so there's a lot of opportunity there. I want to learn more about recording and getting stuff out there. There's growth. I want the Advent calendar, a scant 11 months away. I want that to continue to grow and succeed and grow into the monster it's becoming. Year 4 was amazing. As we talked about on episode 310, the best beer by average. Did it have that out of the park home run? Did it have that AleSmith decadence? Did it have that Tripping Animals Morning Caladita? It didn't, but everything was exceptional. Everyone's going to say the Kolsch or whatever. You got to have the Southern Ohio regulars. You got to have that stuff because it makes you, sorry, Stacy, it makes you appreciate the other stuff more. But I'm just optimistic. Here on the 5th of January for the Mole people, off the top rope. I'm going to give this beer a 4.75. This beer has put me in the right mood. I'm excited. Glad I got to do this on a Sunday. We'll be back next week on the 13th, Monday the 13th, with Better Matt. JT will be back in town. We'll dig ourselves out of whatever snow is going to come. I got a trip coming up this week too, but until then, I hope you all are well. Happy episode 311. 311 has grassroots. Cheers.